Hi, it's Trudy at Henna Happiness, and I'm here with my friend Stanley. And Stanley's our local friendly shaman here at Henna Happiness. And I was just about to show him some information that I've kind of come up with about the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Now, I know a lot of people heard that song, and it was really quite a nice experiment with introducing astrology to the mainstream public. And however, that's another story. But like I said, there's a lot of mainstream astrology out there, but a lot of it's not so accurate. So one thing that's really off about astrology is that it doesn't actually correlate to astronomy. And if we use astronomy, for instance, on the solstice on March 23rd, when everyone says the sun goes into Aries, it actually is in Pisces. It's at 6 degrees Pisces. And if you look at this little map here, this shows the vernal equinox path, or this day of spring, from 4000 BC, back when it was in Taurus, all the way to here now, when it's in Pisces. So one thing to note is that in this day and age, what's on the rise on March 21st, 23rd, on the first day of spring, is actually Pisces, So it's 6 degrees Pisces on the equinox. And you can check your app if you have a planetarium app on your phone. You go get one if you don't have one, and it's a very easy way to check what's really in the sky so that you're aligned to astronomy. Now, when we look at this, the interesting about this is we were talking about the dawning of the age of Aquarius, and the way that the equinoxes go is that we get a little wobble backwards. So every about 100 years, we're losing about a degree, about 3/4 to like a degree. So in this chart, you can see in this chart here that I have made up, at 0 AD, the sun was rising on the equinox at 2 degrees Aries, okay? But then as time went on, with that little wobble, the precession of the equinox, everything moves back. So by 400 AD, we can see that it started to go into Pisces, okay? It made its way up into Pisces. So what does this mean is that if we use this information and we apply it to, say, the birth of Christ and the age, the Piscean age. So Jesus was born just at the last degrees of the Piscean age. So he came in at about 2.15 degrees Aries. And as it moved backwards, you see, we've got deeper and deeper into the Piscean age. And the Piscean age is where we're in right now. Only the Middle Ages, the Dark Ages, and all those ages, this was all a Piscean age. Okay, and it started about 400 degrees when the on the rise on the equinox that Pisces began. And that was way back in 29 degrees Pisces. That wasn't, and since it goes backwards, we're now at 6 degrees Pisces. And one more thing to note is in the middle of that, our calendars changed. So we used to follow a Julian calendar, but now we follow a Gregorian. So there's a big gap in here of about like 10, 12 degrees at about 14 to 1500, around 1600, there was the shift of the calendar. So that gave us a really big leap backwards into Pisces. So with that being said, we're at 6 degrees Pisces, which means the way that this moves, we're going to have another couple hundred years until we really can get into the age of Aquarius. So when they say this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, you can see here that this was the Taurus age over here. That's when we had the earth cultures, and I think maybe that's when all the agrarian cultures and societies started to come about.
And in the Bible, Moses cursed that golden calf because it was Taurus.
Oh.
That was that. That
Okay, yeah. So there was
and
like
the
a
age
lot of
of
Earth
Aquarius,
culture.
there'll be no more Jesus. There's going to be someone else.
So, you know.
It's continuing on.
Then the Aries age here was, I guess, it was the Roman years and
The ram and all that.
Yeah, the metals that they were making, because that's a Mars ruled.
Yeah, and that's when they
sign.
did the horn was the ram's horn was sounded for that age during that time zone before Taurus.
And then we went. So it seems like it does take a couple hundred years for this stuff, the new energy, to come in.
Yeah.
Now, in Indian astrology, this section of Pisces, these early degrees, are hooked into the same stars that link Aquarius. So the star clusters are actually in a very more social consciousness, humanitarian consciousness. We're in it actually, and that's the dawn of it. But when we actually get our act together with it, will take a couple hundred years to homogenize it. So that's why the internet, to me, is like the biggest. Facebook is the age of Aquarius, because we have big social groups coming together and sharing information, and we're learning more, and we're seeing all the suffering, and we're trying to end a lot of suffering. We're trying to end a lot of unfair things, and and human rights and animal rights and understanding nature. All these things are the age of Aquarius. This is what the age of Aquarius is bringing, is our consciousness is expanding. And some people's consciousness has... yes, let the consciousness expand. Let the new age begin. Some people, they're expanding more than others, you know, so you have to have patience and let this all... So, you know, maybe you're from the future, and you're trying to be a messenger for what's going on now so we can get the world back together. So to me, this is a sign of hope, that this is not the end of anything, but this is the beginning of the new age, and this is the new age of Aquarius. And I don't really like the term new age, because there's a lot of phonies, and you sort of, right? You know, it just sounds like sort of hokey and kind of like a pickup line or something.
Yeah.
New Agers, but it's true. There's truth in a new age, and that this is a new beginning of something. So the more that you can believe it and own it and share it with your friends, and don't be afraid to go into this new territory, because you could be the healers that are here now to help other people and to help our society and our culture move along. So you gotta like believe in it, because we are like beginning the dawn into the age of Aquarius. Okay, well, thanks, Stanley, for being our sort of special guest standby. And Stanley, two feathers, right?
Standing One.
Standing One, two feathers?
Yeah, Standing One.
Stanley Standing One.
The trees.
Usually on a bike, though, because he doesn't own a car, because he doesn't want to pollute the earth. So we'll have a great end of your weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.